Hello. Hey, happy Saturday to everyone. Yeah, it is Saturday. It's a Saturday show. Hi, Dip Fuck TV. Good to see you. Hobie Gal, of course. My number one and number two. I don't know. I don't rate them personally. But it's just great to see you on the YouTubes already. Welcome to, the good thing about starting the regular time, you can look at the clock and go, yeah, I bet he's starting to stream. All right, well, I'll check it out. Well, we were in the middle. We didn't finish the last one, so we're probably gonna, at the very least, you remember there was one you sent me that was 8 minutes long, and we're running kind of long in that segment. So, but we're gonna be flying for a solid hour today, a solid hour. So set your watch. You can set your watch to that. I like to say what's going to happen on the stream before the stream gets started, and talk a little bit about it. People want to come in, take their time. Takes a few minutes to get the whole thing rolling. Get me in the mood, but it's going to be a very surprising stream of very typical activities. Look how gigantic that Diet Coke is, though, and it's freshly poured out of the can. There's still some more in here too. Let me just see. Let me just give it a try. Oh my goodness! Yeah, exactly. We need that. I don't see how life would be possible. The stream would certainly not be possible. We would not be streaming. The stream is literally powered, but not sponsored by Diet Coke. Why? Why is it not sponsored by Diet Coke? Don't know. Maybe they got something against me. All right, so we are going to at least finish. We're kind of behind, but that's fine because we kind of think the next official episode is going to be pretty late, like in a month or so. So it's fine, If so, anyway, as I was saying, we had an 8-minute episode. We watched the first 3 minutes, but there's 5 minutes to watch of it. Well, we might watch a little more of it, but this is going to be flying first. I don't know exactly where we're going to fly or what we're going to fly, but I'm going to try to make it interesting and exciting because that's what makes me happy, And the second part of the show, we do, after the flying, we're going to watch little skibbity. Then I'm going to do the big brain games. Don't alert the media; they already know. I'll do the big brain games today. Oh, by the way, did I mention the beautiful Bluetooth controller? My goodness, how gigantic it is! It's literally 4 feet across. No, wait a minute, no, it's a normal size controller, but I really like it. Anyway, if you're going to fly Microsoft Flight Simulator and you're not using a controller of this kind that has the dual joysticks, it's physically possible to do it. The game will let you do it. It's just not a great idea. You're not going to have a very fun time. And we're also going to do some talking. We got some aviation news to talk about today, so we're going to talk about that pretty shortly after we get up in the air. I don't exactly know where that's going to be either. We might just fly around my barn. See if I can another installment of what fits through my barn. And then the third part of the episode is always there'll be a break, and then it's going to be me picking up one of my musical instruments. Of course, yesterday was Ken's Piano Lounge. Today we're rolling back to the fancy cheap guitar. Look at that baby. Look at that gorgeous guitar. Look at the body. Oh my God. You can't really hear me when I'm in front of the mic there. So I won't talk. Leo James with a Z, I think. I don't know. It's still really, the headstock's still really cool looking. Back of the guitar. Mahogany. It's a bolt-on, but that's what you expect in this price. Anyway, this is my fancy cheap guitar. And I was just looking at the prices on this back on Amazon. When I got it, it was $270, which is pretty cheap. And then it went up to $400. But then I think they restocked them, and now they got a bunch of new colors. They got a bunch of really interesting other colors for this model that has this high end neck, and they're also $279 on Amazon. Again, don't buy one of these unless you are pretty comfortable with either knowing somebody who can adjust the guitar for you or doing it yourself based on YouTube things, like especially the truss rod. I had to adjust the action height on all the strings. And what if that's never going to happen ever? But you're going to ask every single time, so And that works out because I like my streams to be extremely repetitive. So as long as you're here every time to ask the same questions, it's all good. You know what I mean? But no, nothing's going to change ever. So that's good, which is good. I know you may not be happy with it, but at least you'll get used to it. You know what I mean? And we're going to cheers to that with the Diet Coke. Nothing should ever change. Well, nothing ever really stays the same either, I know, but you know how it is. People come here to see the flight simulator, including me. It's one of my favorite things. Some people could like to come watch me play guitar later. I'll probably be playing. I'm gonna dig into my history of playing music on karaoke music on on YouTube and see if I can find some songs that I haven't done like in 6 months or something like that for the karaoke. You know, I don't care if they're good or bad or if I know them that well. It'll just be different, you know, just trying to mix it up a bit. So, all right. So the first thing I said is I mentioned we're going to fly through the barn but I just changed my mind. You know what I think might be interesting? How can we get an image of the my SST flying over Mount Everest? And if so, how can we do it? Because we can't fly out of Lukla. Where is Lukla again? Is this Lukla? Here's Lukla here. But I think we can fly out of the nearest airport is going to be Janakpur. No, that's not long enough. What do we got here? 53, no. I'm trying to find the biggest airport that's in range that can handle a takeoff of, that's 9,000 feet. 9,000 feet here, and that's not too far, especially since we are in a supersonic transport. This is Mount Everest up here, where it says Lukla there, just northeast of that. That's Mount Everest. I just thought it'd be fun to get a screenshot over Mount Everest with a SST, just because you can't do that anymore. But it involves taking off from an airport that can handle it. Obviously, we've got to switch to the SST. But it's just one of those things. If you have one, why wouldn't you fly it? I did spend $20 on it. Where is it? It's up here. I do remember it's still installed. I was just checking on that today. I got so many fun planes to fly. It's here. It's just kind of hard to find. There is the DC Designs Concorde. There's not really that. They're all realistic liveries, but we can pick. Let's do Air France today. It's always a good one. They're about the same, really. All right. So we're gonna start on this runway here. We're gonna do a quick flight. I'm gonna take some pictures of our SST flying over Mount Everest, preferably with the nose and the gear down, but I'm not sure we can handle that. It is 28,000 feet. Now, this plane easily gets up to 28,000 feet. That's one of the reasons. It's not going to take off and land at this little Lukla airport. All right, so we're here. We're going to start on runway 10. We're changing the time of day. Again, that doesn't work either. We'll figure that out. I'll figure that out there, and we're going to fly northeast, northeast approximately. I think it'll be pretty easy to find Mount Everest. We might have to change the weather to see it, and certainly the time of day. But yeah, and maybe we'll be able to do a low pass over Lukla, and jump out and take a look and see what it looks like. I've never tried anything like this before. This may be one of the shorter missions. Now, one thing we cannot do is fit the SS-32 through the barn. But I have plenty of smaller planes I haven't tried that on yet. Okay, so it's a little late in the day there. I'm gonna make it earlier in the day. That is cool looking though. Just a little bit earlier, all right? Taking off runway 10, departing straight out. Victor Echo Delta Hotel traffic. All right, so here's our SST sitting on the edge of the runway. It is in takeoff configuration. Maybe a little bit of positive trim there. There we go. You can see the nose is up, but the secondary aerodynamic shield is down, so you can see out the front a little easier. Those 4 big afterburning engines in the back. Now, in order to take off successfully, you need to turn the afterburners on. That's these 4 switches down here. See engine afterburners. Technically, you're not supposed to turn them on until the plane's moving a little bit, so that the afterburners don't light the back of the plane on fire. It's just a thing. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. All right, so let's get us moving. So we want to spool up the engines. We're going to release the brakes and now hit the afterburners. Afterburner. We're going to watch those afterburners come on. Right? Come on, afterburners. Full power. There we go. Afterburners. Now we got flying power. All right. So now we're going to sit here and wait for V1, which is 175 knots. You need a lot of speed, or 180, I think, 185 knots. We're getting some gumption there. We're still well below speed. That's why you need that long runway. Short runway ain't gonna do it for you. All right, now we get some speed going. We're gonna do a rotate here. It's gonna pull the plane off in a second. We have positive rotation, positive velocity. Gear up. Gears coming up. Afterburners on. Okay, now we can turn off the afterburners. We're not going to need them anymore. Just for takeoff and for achieving supersonic flight, which we're not going to be doing. Okay, we're going to head northeast. This is starting here. Oh yeah, I wanted to change the time of day. It's sunset, which is going to be nice, but the sun will have set by the time we got there. Let's leave it. It's not going to take long. It's a fast flight. This is what it looks like from here. You see that secondary aerodynamic shield. Instruments are working. Everything looks good there. There's the engineering section in the back. There would normally be a flight engineer there. Three-person crew on these planes. Maximum altitude. Not sure. Vertical velocity there. Okay, we're getting a speed warning because we're too low. We're too fast. Let's slow down a little bit. Just gain a little altitude. Heading north-northeast, approximately 30 degrees. I think we'll see on the. I'm gonna check the map, but I think we're pretty close to. Where the vector I want, which is we're gonna fly over Luck Cloud. Which means we've got to see as we get more altitude, the maximum speed goes up. It's indicated here on this airspeed indicator. There's a yellow and white bar and a white bar. The yellow and white bar is the maximum speed. If we get faster than that, that alarm will go off. But as we get higher up, that yellow and white bar goes up, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get to Mach. But we're about to hit it, so I'm going to slow down a little bit here. Beautiful bird, though. I mean, it's very satisfying to fly. And quite need some skill, a little skill, or at least practice. Obviously, I don't know what 99% of these buttons do, and probably most of them don't really do anything. Apparently, there are a lot of automatic systems you could turn off if you really wanted to manage hydraulic temperatures, hydraulic pressure temperature, things like that yourself. But it would be pretty dull. But the actual activities during the climb phase are pretty intense in the cabin. Above the clouds, it's kind of a nice time to fly. All right, here's where I want to check our we're going to go into the flight planner and check our flight path here. You can easily see Mount Everest because it's so darn tall. Right. Where is Lucknow? I thought it's up here. Should show it. Closer. This is going to be a pretty quick flight, though, because we are moving. And at some point, we will be able to literally see Mount Everest, because it's way higher. We're at 12,000 feet. Mount Everest goes up to 28,000 feet. So if we don't get a lot higher than we're now, we're just going to smash into it. But we got to head up. We're heading up with this these lowlands here are still at like 6,000 feet out. But we're like 4,000 feet. But we're pretty much going to hit the Himalayas like a ton of bricks pretty soon. Okay, what's it at in terms of our maximum speed? Oh yeah, we can go a little faster. Give us a little more oomph. Yeah, if I really wanted to get some oomph, we could always light the afterburners. No, that's too much oomph. That's just the speed. You cannot turn off the speed warning. I found out, which is fine. At least I know what it is. We always reduce our speed a little bit. As I say, you can see what's going on there on the airspeed knots there. We're exceeding where that bar is, which is based on altitude. So we can go climb or go slower or we go both. Again, we're only at 14,000 feet. And these mountains ahead are much taller. But I do want to figure out if I'm going to head to Lukla or not. Now it's showing this, right? This is Lukla there. No, that's the one that's just south of it. Lukla's here. Lukla there. So we are heading a little to the right of that. I'm going to just a little bit, pretty close. It's going to be about a 5-minute flight, really, honestly. I mean, well, maybe 6. We can go faster, right? The afterburgers. We have plenty of fuel, too. Yeah, let's do it. All right, afterburgers on. Let's see if we can really exceed some. Get ready, boom. There's a speed going here just for fun. It's technically a waste of fuel, but we got plenty. You can definitely see below us. We're starting to get some mountainous terrain here, and really quickly it goes from like a few thousand feet to like 10,000 feet. It's hard to tell, but we're about to hit. We're at 19,000 feet. So we're definitely overspeeding up. All right, that's enough fun time on the afterburners. But you can see there's some little points of interest ahead. That's because, yeah, we're heading towards places where afterburners are off. We're still overspeeding, but that's fine. By a long shot. I just want to get there. All right, where are we? Lukla is here in LK. Yeah, it's about to get interesting. We're gonna kind of go up this canyon here. I'm gonna try not to go too much higher than this. And again, we're only at 17,000 feet, which means we're a solid 10,000 feet below Everest. You just can't really see it yet, but you will shortly. And when we do, I'm gonna fly over. I'm gonna put down the gear. I'm gonna try to put down the gear and the nose and get a shot that's hopefully iconic, that you can recognize that it's Everest. Of course, it really depends on the cloud cover. This time of year, it can be nice, but it's too late in the season to climb because the weather's starting to get bad. The climbing season's over in June. Or May. I think May, actually. Into May. We're going to go down here. And then we're going to go going this way up here. And there's Lukla. And then once you hit Lukla, you kind of go to the left, but then you got to get ready to go to some altitude. But we're going to stay kind of low here. I mean, it's beautiful terrain. The Himalayas. I guess this time of year there'd be a little less snow on the ground, but you can actually see this is an occupied area. There's a little tiny, these little bush airports operate out here. Bojapur. We can't land and take off on a big plane like that, but hey. And it says there's a Nepalese army barracks up here. Imagine that. Imagine being stationed here. It says Nepal Army Dictel Barrack. That's kind of cool. I don't know if we've flown over here. It's our speed, but we're too fast. We're moving. That's the idea. Okay, we're gonna head north from here. We're gonna go to Lukla. That's kind of cool. You can see all this, all those switchbacks to get up there. Army barracks, man. Nepalese must be a pretty monster army. Okay, we're gonna go a little northwest. Fly through some clouds. Yeah, it's a speed warning. We're way over speeding. Alright, folks. I don't like flying through clouds. Already having a great time. It's just to relax. Hopefully there's we'll find the altitude wise. Alright, so let's look over here. Kind of like you can see Lukla dead ahead. And then gateway to Everest is right beyond that. Now, if we don't come out of this cloud soon enough, I may have to change the weather to a little less cloudy. We do eventually want to see the ground, and plus the mountains, which are dead ahead. But it looks like we'll be a little bit better. I'd rather not mess with the weather unless it gets terrible. But I will. I've been known to. All right, we're heading straight to Lukla. We're actually going to come down through this canyon here. Fly over Lukla. We'll do a little magical parachuting. always like to do that once or twice a show. You kind of see how we'll be able to get low in this canyon here and do a little unadvisable canyon carving in a plane that just does not steer very well. But you know, this way we can stay under the clouds. Right, past this little one here, but we're gonna go up here. It would really be fun if we came all this way and just smashed right before going anywhere interesting. Wouldn't that be hilarious? We're going a little fast. And you can start to see how majestic these mountains get, but no, this ain't Everest. You can't see Everest from here. Not from this altitude. But it's a big one. All these mountains are humongoid. So this is the little canyon you come up if you want to land it like you can see it there. We're going to stop and fly right over it. And we're not trying to land it at it because it's not a possibility. So I think I have real weather turned on and the time of day too. So it's very much just about sunset there. So the cool thing is I bought an add-on for Lekla, right? So I have the upgraded terrain for this area. There are a couple of even more upgraded terrains. Look at this ridge here. Look how beautiful this plane is flying around. Don't do this at home, it's very dangerous. But hopefully we'll get to see it. I can't really get much lower than this. We'll see if it will load kind of upgraded terrain. Alright, so we all jump out of the plane using our magical parachutes. We can head down to Lekla. Now, this is one of the cool things is in 2024 is based on the time of year. It'll look quite different, and this you kind of see that that boundary there. I think as we get closer, it should load it. We'll have to see. But this time of year, it's snowy apparently there, and iced over, but not all year. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to see all the cool details if we don't get the plane closer. Come to think of it, looks like it's not full. It's right over here. Like there's a statue of Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. Yeah, this is the base content. No, I take it back because there's these people there. Yeah, this is the add-on content. I can tell they're not high res. I can tell because of this extra plane there is always there. And as I mentioned, it's the statue of Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary, who apparently were very good friends, if you know what I'm saying. And the Nepalese flag flying there, and there's a bunch of guys in here. There's a lot of stuff going on here. This guy is talking, and it's pretty cool. But if you landed here, you wouldn't get all that cool stuff. All right, back on the plane. Use your magical parachutes. Time go. All right, let's see if we can get up this. So anyway, so you come to Lekla. You can fly into Lekla on a relatively small plane. Then you got to hike your way through this canyon, and you're going ever up. We're only 11,000 feet. You're at like 10,000 feet here. But you continue on. People are living down here. It's hard to tell, but there's houses all along this way. People live in here, and eventually you get up to this place, which is considered the gateway to Mount Everest. And because Mount Everest has become such a popular climbing destination, there's a large population of people to supply and serve the needs of those climbers. This is called the Hotel Everest View. Everest View Hotel right there. And the reason why is because if you look right there where the sun's coming up, that's Mount Everest. That little thing up there. That one right behind where the sun's about to pass right behind it in a very cool way. So if you can see that, you can see Mount Everest from your hotel. And that's the only place you can. So you're going to come see this kind of river up there. You're hiking up there. There's the monastery, the Tengboche Monastery. It's the highest monastery in the world. These are basically the highest continually occupied places in the world. And again, it's because of all the climbing activity, which is seasonal, but it still keeps it busy, keeps people living there. Right, but that's not Mount Everest there. That's Mount Everest there. Sorry, it took me a while. Mount Everest is that thing. Is that what we're doing? Did I say that was Mount Everest? What do I know? I mean, I know now. You can see it from there, but it's the distance from that hotel, which is back there, way back there, to Mount Everest is, I mean, it's not that far, but it's far enough that Mount Everest looks kind of small. All right, we're 17,000 feet. We got to gain a lot of altitude here. I'm going to give us a little more gumption and engines. But no, it looks like a nice clear day at Mount Everest. I don't have to adjust the weather at all for a beautiful shot. What I am going to look at the condensation on the wing at this angle of attack. Can't say that's not cool. Whee, I love it. All right, climbing up to Mount Everest. We're at 19,000 feet. We've got to get up to 28,000 feet. A little more gumption from the edges, please. I can always hit the afterburners if I need to. Now, those dots up there represent the base camps. You can see, there's 4 base camps. There's 5 base camps, because technically there's base camp, and then base camp 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you get from there. So, but they're already and that's the glacier, the ice glacier. I guess maybe actually I think there's a lower base camp. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not gonna know. But it's different places. Yeah, so there's Camp 3, Camp 4. That's Hillary Peak. I think the other camps are down that way. Like that's Camp 1 over there. Camp kind of the wrong direction here. But let's see, we're 22,000 feet. We should have no problem getting to 28,000 feet. So that one is Mount Lhotse. That's Mount Lhotse, which is the second or third highest mountain in the world. Wait a minute. I suggest we like these bad boys. I don't know if we're gonna get over this one. Oh, come on, play it. It's fine. It'll just start us over here. It's gonna start us. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, now we're fine. It's just a slight. In this plane, you cannot turn to avoid an obstacle at full power. It shouldn't have any problem getting up to 30,000 feet because it gets up to 38,000. I forgot what. Between 45,000 feet to go supersonic. We're fine. Okay, that's Mount Everest right here. What I want to do is kind of get away. And okay, actually, we could do this now. We're going to lower the gear and the nose. It takes a little while for the nose to lower because we're going slow now. I got full power, right? Full power. The nose, you see the nose? That thing's about to come down there. The aerodynamic slide will come down in a second. That Bing was warning that the aerodynamic slide is coming down. And then the nose itself will start coming down. See, the nose is kind of coming down there. It's kind of cool. Now we're going to try to fly over. I'm glad you're still here. We're going to try to fly over. This definitely calls for the afterburners on. We're going to try to fly over Mount Everest, which is right there. And take a screenshot of me with the nose and gear down. But it looks like we're not even going to get the altitude I want. Well, that's a good thing. You can watch. Yeah, exactly. Right, that's Mount Everest there. I believe it's the back of it. That's the China side. It's kind of fairly intense there. Give me some stall. That's a stall warning. That's not a good thing. We're about to stall out. And that's full afterburners too. I don't care. Maybe if we straighten out a bit, it'll help. We're losing altitude. It's not good. I don't think the supersonic transport is supposed to do this. But you know what? It'll be fine. It'll give us a new one. I'm having fun. We get close up. There's no controlling him at that point. Back on track. You crashed. Okay, but I'm going to crash again if you make me do that. Let's see if it'll ever give us some blue air to fly into. It might not. Eventually it should. Nope, it's not blue enough. This is kind of crazy to try to do this. I'm having a good time though. But eventually it'll give us some blue air when we get some speed up. I'm not trying to get massive speed up. Once we do, okay, give us another try. This is not a good area for this. Eventually we'll be over this mountain. Watch, see? Blue air. As I mentioned, all you need is some blue air. Right, do we have afterburners on? I believe we do. Yes, we do. Perfect. I mean, they're very powerful. Obviously, I love that effect too. They're very powerful engines, but you know, they take a while to get any kind of speed going. It's a heavy plane. We should probably try with a little less fuel. There's my numbers right there. That tall one on the left. Loxi's on the right. Let's just make a fast pass. I want to just get a shot of the over Mount Everest. I don't think having the gear down is going to work, you know, at that altitude. We'll keep the gear down and the afterburners on this time. And get some distance here. There's the triangle of Mount Everest there. Now to get over the top, but we have to get enough distance to be able to turn. After this, there's going to be another flight too. I'm not going to try to land it. We're going to go into the barn. I want to see if I can get one of my other small planes from the barn. Because it's great content. We're pretty much done. We're done with this last city update, so I don't have to go back to New York anymore. Alright, 270. I mean, we still got a lot of angle of attack there. But we're not going too fast. Okay, so we're going to make this turn. Hopefully we'll make this turn. Make a coordinated turn with the rudder here. That's as fast as this plane can turn. Which is pretty fast for a plane like this. It's not really something to turn. So we'll make a big turn. We've got to turn all the way back that way. It takes a while. At least we're not losing too much speed in the full afterburners on. I'm at 27,000 feet, which is good. We got to be over 28,000 feet to fly over Mount Everest, which is my plan that I'm sticking to. You know, if you have a supersonic plane and you can do it, why not? All right, that's what it looks like. I can't really see shit. I think we're about aim our asses over Mount Everest. And this time we're at 28,000 feet. We're literally the height of Mount Everest. Oh, I want to fly right over the top. You know, I wouldn't mind missing it by about 20 feet. But I don't want to, because I'm trying to judge our height carefully based on what altitude. That's right around the altitude of Mount Everest, I believe. So you'll be able to see down in that area here, between these two ridges, that's where all the camps are. And the Camp 4 is on that saddle right there. There. Pretty scary. Of course, it's a beautiful day today, but the weather's bad. It's not a place you want to be. Alright, let's get a little lower here. I don't know if this is going to be a good shot or not, but who wants to land on top of Mount Everest? Oh, we're a million miles away. Oh, I gotta do this camera reset thing here. 1 second. Thank you. Right. Everyone on the plane. This is literally the top Mount Everest. I don't think it's too detailed. Like, there's a bunch of flags up here, you know. I think this, somewhere around here, is it this side? I'm not sure what side it is. Hard to tell. I think it's up here. It's right around here. But there should be something there because there's a bunch of flags and stuff. But it's on this thing. This is definitely it, right? That's a lot to see over there. That's the top of the world. Let's see if we get a shot of my, a nice shot of my Air France supersonic transport flying over Mount Everest, because that was my idea. Seeing that big glacier in the back. A nice sunset picture there. You know what? That's just gonna have to do. Don't you think? It's 29,000 feet. Thank you for, you know, I was oh, let me just talk about it, but I thought it was 28,900 feet, but now I think you're right, it's 29,200 feet. And what does it say? It may not be perfectly accurate in the game. Let's go back here. Yeah, it's showing that I'm flying at 27,500 feet, and I'm clearly above, right? You know, I think I'm, not by a lot, but I'm clearly above the height of it. Right? That's Lhotse over there. This is definitely Everest. It says Everest right here. I can't really see it. That's what that says. It's not. It doesn't seem like it's on the highest peak of either. But I think it's pretty accurate, but it is what it is. All right, and that concludes our short flyer over the. It is what it is. There's going to be more flying, by the way, for another while, because I'm having a good time. That's all I really want to do. I want to get a screenshot, and it's done. Now what I want to do is play another episode of Will It Fit Through the Barn? It's cheap content. Well, it's easy content. I had to pay money for this ranch. The Circle B Kemmer Ranch. It's an add-on. Apparently, it was in the Disney family. It's right here. Obviously, the Concorde's not flying through it. But what haven't I tried? And at this point, I'm relying on my memory to see what I have and haven't tried fitting through. It's got to be something pretty small. I mean, there's a bunch of them I haven't tried. But yeah, the Islander is going to be too big. I think the C-22 is too big. We did the Hawk Arrow. It was no problem. I think we've done the PA-28. I don't know about the 172. I think we have done the 172. This one is the Cirrus R20. The Cirrus SR-22 is really small. And so is the Cub Crafters. Those are pretty small. So that might... Let me just see what else I got here. The Diamond DV-20, I think we tried. And then extra is going to be too unstable to get through there. Let me see what we got. I got a lot of planes. Have we tried the JMB VL3? I bet that might fit through. It's pretty small. Let's figure it out. I don't know. There's only one way to find out, as I like to say around this time. All right, so liveries. We get this cool livery 01 here. We're going to save and back. I think this plane could probably take off from the, we have a choice. We could take off from the dirt landing strip here or the Cokefield Municipal, or as we like to call it around here, the Diet Cokefield Municipal. Let's just be nice on the, it's right nearby. Let's just be nice on the landing gear and take off from the Diet. We can land there. We'll land at the little dirt landing strip. The experiment here is, will it fit through the barn? I mean, it will fit through the barn, but can I fit it through the barn? All right, let's see. We got a fascinating. I got to do a little band activity there. Suspicious user. It's all good. Yeah, I think there's just a discrepancy there. Or the other thing that is a discrepancy is that I didn't set my altimeter barometric pressure. That may have actually been the effect. Come to think of it. You have to correctly set the barometric pressure for the weather for the altimeter to work, and I didn't bother. And it's also off and off, unless it's a radar altimeter, but I don't think it is. All right, let's check this thing here. Is it spinning? Okay, we got that. Fuel is on. Flaps are correct. Trim is correct. This is a cool little plane. I mean, it is really nice and quite maneuverable. It's not tiny, but I think it should fit through the barn, and it is because of its. Last I remember, at least. Nice handling characteristics. That should make it a little easier. We'll have to see. Oh. So the thing, rotate at 70. Rotate at 70. Wants to take off. This plane has gear comes up and flaps that will pop in. So we're going to do both those. Love the gear. Love a little plane with folding gear because it's a high performance plane there. All right, back on there. Go back on the RPM a little bit here. Let's see, everything's in the green. It's all warmed up. All right, you guys have seen my ranch before, but this is, in case you haven't, I'm going to give you a short tour. So that's Diet Cokefield Municipal Airport there. Do I have the Vertigo? Oof. Oh, I might have that Vertigo. Yeah, the one with that huge engine. This is one of those planes that's got weird reflection effects on the canopy, though. It kind of has them in 2020, but in 2024 they seem a lot more distracting. Just that shape of the canopy, I guess, is causing it. I don't know, the complex shape of it. I think I had the Vertigo, but I'd have to double check. But yeah, I remember there is a plane that looks like this, but has a real beefed up engine. I guess, is this the piston version and then there's a turbo version or something like that? I could be wrong about that. Let's see, everything seems to be running well here. Again, this is a high valley. We're taking off over 6,000 feet. I know, isn't it fun? It's actually only 42 minutes. I got a timer right in front of me. I don't know what you're looking at. But I love that you're always trying to like troll my time. You know, keep going. Like, it's not possible. I know exactly what time it is. Anyway, so where you see those that circular irrigation system, which is really cool because they're active, and there's one of those sprinkler systems that moves around in a circle, and each one of those has one, and they're kind of working and functional. And you can start to see my little ranch. We'll be there in a second or two. There's a couple barns, but only one of them has the doors open on both sides so you can fly through, and it's specifically for that reason, and nothing else. And then I've got my flight recorder that I'm working on figuring out how to use. The flight recorder lets us repeat any, record segments of flight and then repeat them in the game and in real time. It's actually really cool. I haven't used it that much, but now I want to double check that I have not turned off live. Live weather is turned on, real time is turned on, everything here is live. All right, so there's a Circle B ranch up there. Okay, so you can see there's the irrigation system working there. There's this copse of trees over here. There's a nice little park that's part of it. I don't know, it's technically part of the ranch. And there's like 8 or 10 of these crop circle thingies. Right here, I'm about to fly over, is a little dirt strip that you can use for, bush operations. It's pretty short, but it's pretty flat, and it's marked with barrels that have fire in them. And at night you can see the barrels. It's pretty cool. So the main ranch is right here, and the barn we go through is down at the south end there. There's a bunch of buildings, there's a bunch of trucks, there's a bunch of farm equipment, there's a bunch of stuff happening down there. There's all sorts of scripted activity. There's livestock. It's pretty empty though. What if I turn down my my livestock meter? All right, we're gonna make this turn around, and we're gonna try it for the first time. I believe in this particular plane. All right, we're going kind of slow here. Get some power going here. It does seem like a nice flyer. If we can get through our barn, we're gonna line up here. Go over this way here. Come in here. This is. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Hold on a second here. Okay. Flight recorder. Well, that's the camera. FCR, flight recorder. Record. Let's see. Record. Is it recording? It is. Oh. A little easier to try it from here for the first time. No problem. All right. But the cool part is I can hit stop record. Now, while I am flying the plane, if I hit play, it reverses, and now I don't have to touch anything. And we can actually move the point of view. I know we got through the barn because we got through there the first time. We could pause. We could do a whole bunch of stuff. We can go back so we can see it from that side. Or we can go back here, go reverse it, hit play again. We can do this as much as we want. And then if I want, I can take control at the last second. That one made a square through the barn. Didn't touch a thing, didn't touch the ground. I don't know if the only issue is I don't think I can do better than that one. All right, but that was fun. All right, so take plane control. So what I'm going to do here is wait for us to here. Take plane control. Now I'm flying again, so I can see if I could do another pass. Now I hit the second thing there. I got it through the first thing, but then I was porpoising a bit. All right, let's keep trying it. Let's try another. Let's try going through this end. There's a really pretty little ranch house you could live in. I like my ranch house. There's also like an office and thing. Oh yeah, there's the irrigation equipment, which is slowly moving around. It's funny. One time I parked there and then I waited to see if I would get a free car wash on my plane, but it just smashed it. It just hit the plane and tried to move it around. You know what I mean? It's a solid object. It's not a that has a collision box on it, which is really cool. All right, there's your barn. It's just begging us. Okay, let's try from here. It's just begging us to fly through it. It's just saying, look, this giant door I have, both of them are open. Why would you make a barn like that? To fly through. There's your little house. Let's see if we can do this good. Get a nice line up here. Stay about 8 feet off the ground at most. Probably going to almost hit that fence there. We're good. And that's what it's like to fly through a barn. Well, not only is it possible, but I would even say it's easier in this plane than in most. It's very stable and easy to point. I wouldn't say it's tiny, but it's small enough. All right, we're going to land. And then, yeah, now it's almost 50. The Legacy Pack working 24. That would be cool. That would be cool. There's a bunch of great stuff from 2020 I would like to see working properly in 2024. Including that electric Alice plane that I paid for, you know, that doesn't work in 24 at all. You know, one of the engines won't start up, and it seems like they should be able to fix that. And some other planes I have. So there's all these, like, this is another part of the ranch here. We're just going to land. Another part of the ranch with more ranch houses. I really like my ranch. That's why we fly here a lot. But again, it's a beautiful day in Wyoming, but we're at 6,000 feet. So you got to be aware of that when you're flying planes. They don't fly exactly like you would expect them to. At sea level in terms of performance, etc. Okay, let's get to 0 trim. We're going to go up to Diet Cokeville, as I like to call it. Just up here, we're going to land the plane. Then we're going to do a little rest of the show kind of activities. But you know, as I say, if I get 2 little missions in and have a good time, we're doing good. I'm not going to be cold starting that SST anytime soon. That's for sure, though. It takes about 30 minutes. Well, in the game, I think it takes about 15. In the real world, you got to wait for a lot of stuff to warm up in between steps. You know. Oh, by the way, we're going to do some aviation talk right now. So, the preliminary report on the Air India 171 crash, which is almost a month ago now, just came out. Not the full report, but a report that they, you know, where they basically say what happened, but kind of without saying what happened. The only thing the report really needs made clear, and that obviously the pressure for the report came out, is that there's nothing wrong with the 787 as designed. There are no fixes being made to it. You know, there's no engineering bulletins being put out, meaning that there was nothing wrong with that plane. It's literally impossible for 2 engines to fail at the same time for no, you know, for technical reasons. But it's quite easy for a pilot who, you know, who intentionally wants to crash the plane to just open those 2 switches, turn those 2 fuel switches to cut off. And that's what I was proposing, you know, given the pilots some credit for being good pilots, in that maybe one of the engines failed and that they accidentally turned off the wrong engine, but that also is extremely unlikely for a bunch of reasons, because that procedure, even if one engine did fail, it would have been fine, and there's no procedure after an engine failure that involves turning those cutoff switches off. So what happened was, they got from the recorder, all they really told is that after the plane got off the ground, right at the time that the person not flying the plane, in this case the pilot, should have brought the gear up. The gear was never brought up. Instead of breaking up the gear, the pilot turned off one engine, and the co-pilot was taken off at the time. And then the pilot turned off the other engine, and then the co-pilot said, "Why are we losing? Why did you turn off the cutoff switches?" And then the pilot said, "We don't know for sure who said it, but the pilot said, I didn't turn off any cutoff switches. What are you talking about?" And then the cutoff switches went back to run, and then the engine started starting up again, and then they crashed because it was way too late at that point. So it looks like an intentional putting of the plane on the ground by the pilot. One of the pilots. It wouldn't have had to take both, but you know, it's sad. Apparently that pilot was real close to retirement. You know, which it actually turns out to be kind of I think a danger sign. But it's good. How are you? We're just gonna land here at Cokeville. And then switch over to some other stuff. So they don't really want to blame the pilots, but the only way that plane could have crashed is if one or more of the pilots had intentionally turned off the engines at a very critical time, and knowing it would kill him and everyone else on board, and doing it for that reason. Pretty easy plane to land. We'll just check in at the airport here. So again, very sad, very tragic. But I mean, the only takeaway is that maybe our planes would be safer if they actually weren't being flown by human pilots. Yeah, did you hear about did you hear about the report? There was a preliminary report released just I think about 12 hours ago, maybe about 15 hours ago, and there's some people who've been talking about the report. This guy wants me to park here. All right, I can park here. You really want to park here? I can park here. He gave me that little salute, meaning meaning good job. Oh, you watched it? Yeah, you watched it. Yeah, it's very upsetting because it's starting to look like that at the time the co-pilot was flying. Okay, and I watched some scenarios about what's supposed to happen during the takeoff roll of a 787. And again, I thought maybe there was no engine failures. There was nothing technically wrong that happened in the plane. But what happens is the co-pilot is holding onto the controls and the throttles, but the pilot is also kind of has their hand on the throttles for some period of time to kind of make sure the throttles don't do anything funny. But the pilot is reaching. Okay, the pilot's still in love. The pilot, again, there's the pilot, but in this place, the co-pilot is the one who's actually taking the plane off. So they're the one pulling the stick back. So their hands are on the stick. The pilot is supposed to say positive rate, and the pilot's supposed to flick the landing gear up. Did not flick the landing gear up. Instead, reached down between them and turned these metal, very difficult to accidentally change switches from the on to the off for both engines. Out of nowhere, for no reason. And one of the pilots said, "Why did you shut off the engines?" And the other person says, "I didn't do anything." We looked at it, I didn't do nothing. And then what is assumed is the other pilot, the co-pilot who's flying the plane, who noticed that had to turn the switches on so that to restart the engines. It was way too late by then. So it looks like the pilot decided to kill himself and everyone on the plane. It's really sad. It's not the first time. It's literally not the first time that something's happened. And all it really points out is that the most dangerous thing on the plane is the pilot. The planes are extremely safe, but there's nothing to prevent a pilot from shooting the guy next to him and flying the plane into the ground, except that those pilots are supposed to be, vetted and that they don't have mental illnesses and blah blah blah. But how perfect can you make any procedure like that? As I like to say, the reason why the reason why Air 171 went down was because of a jinn or banshee. And if you don't know what those are, look them up. But those are evil spirits that exist in the Indian culture. I believe a jinn or banshee, or possibly both, or a combination, occupied that pilot and forced him to do crazy, stupid shit, because nobody would do that intentionally. Now, do I also believe in jinns and banshees? I don't know. It's really hard to say in situations like that. Why would somebody out of nowhere decide to kill themselves in an instant? They thought it through. When's the best time to kill myself in the plane so that we're definitely all going to die, and that's how it worked. Or they were inhabited by some demon, a banshee, or a jinn, or there's some other ones are part of Indian culture, and we can look it up, and they're believed to cause a lot of bad things. Okay, let me switch out the category here. Thank you for coming to the Microsoft Flight Simulator segment. Okay, I think we're in there. Hold on a second here. Switch out of simulator, but there's going to be plenty more flying tomorrow, that's for sure. Or it's reasonably sure. Seeing how. All right. Excuse me. Should have muted. All right, where are we here? Let me bring this up. YouTube. Where were we? All right, I'm still logged in here. Hold on a second here. All right, so you put something in my thing. You put something we should watch here. Which one? What if there were semi-titans from each line? Okay, how long is it? Let's just see. Hold on a second. Okay, this is short, so we're going to watch this one. Hold on a second here. Okay, so again, these are kind of alternate histories. What do you call what ifs? I guess you call them. which is a reasonable thing to call them. I call them fanfic, but I guess what if there were semi-titans? So semi-titans are the medium-sized ones, right? There's like multiple titan sizes of each thing, and there's like human-sized ones, and then there's, I think semi-titans are the medium-sized ones, and then the titan, like Titan cameraman, the Titan the screen man, and the Titan speaker man are all, the same size, gigantic, 500, whatever. Oh, but this has 2 parts though, so let's watch part 1 and see what happens. And if you don't know what Skibidi Toilet is, you can watch my VODs or look up on Wikipedia. Honestly, I still think, like, if you want to really get into it and you want to know what this is about, just watch the first 10 minutes of the actual Skibidi Toilet. This, not the what ifs or the fanfics, which I might do again because it's very charming and nightmarish at the same time. This is more just like fun ultra violence. Okay. Do you know that? I assume you know who these guys are. All right. So let's start off with some screen effects. Okay, I like that. Really beat that damn tank. Those captions are not very long. Screen effects basically have to be there to hide animation issues. You like, and all the there's like a heat effect, there's pixelation, rasterization. There's a bunch of like lens flare effects. There's a million screen effects, but you don't have to use all of them all the time.
My eyes more than they already are.
This guy.
Your dumb titan owes me too. I don't even know who you are.
These guys have intense voices. Yeah, since they're all humans, can't really tell. These guys are the soldier activities. This guy. Semi-type. They're big, but not that big. Well, they look big there, but they're not as big as Titan. Here he is, Mr. Purple. He's got his own color scheme. Don't try to use it. The Skibidis have like a facial, defining facial tremor characteristic. And they look human, but then the faces don't move in the right way, which is cool. And I think it was kind of originally accidental, but now it's a character trait of the Skibidi Toilet. It's basically just an appreciation of these really self-lighting character models. They create their own lights. They need external lighting, and then so the light combinations are always really chromatic, really saturated. Yeah. Anytime you see a plunger, that's a weapon that a toilet should be very afraid of. So that was part 2. Wait a minute, was that one? All right, but that's enough for today, though. We are going to potentially watch more. It's gonna be at least a month. I'm gonna think until the next official episode. So we gotta roll these out over time. But thank you for watching that, and thank you for suggesting it. As again, I'm really kind of enjoying them. There's a weird vibe once you get into it. And who knows? Maybe they'll someday be like really popular because Michael Bay's production company will make a movie version of it for the mass audience. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's go to here. We're gonna go to the Quirtle. We're gonna make that full screen. We're going right to the big brain games. What are the big brain games? Well, I play a Quirtle. I already played today's New York Times Wordle. I do that right in the morning, but I normally play these games every day. And on days I stream, I wait until the stream is about to hear before we do that. So let's do that. It's basically you got to solve these 4 or 5 letter words using. I forgot what my starting words are. Now that's not possible because I use them so much. And the the fast and correct way to do it is to do it the way I do it. I mean, you can do it however you want, but okay. So lower left, I don't want to spend more time doing it than I have to, and these starting words really make it easy. Okay, this could be nanny on the upper right, right? But it could be some other things, right? Oh, we might guess nanny just for fun. If it's not nanny, it's something else. It was nanny. All right, and then the lower right looks to be stain. And the upper right is the left next one. And then we're going to do the revealed, and then we're going to do tightrope trivia, and then we're going to do some octurtles, which are like this both. 8 words to solve on the same puzzle. This one, all we have is an A and an E to position. It could be freak, R-E, and if it's not, it'll tell us the information we know. Okay, it could be reek, W-R-E-K. That's the only other thing it'd be, so we're good there. 50-50. All right. Sometimes I do some of the other quartals, but just for, because I want to kind of keep the brain games into a specific length of time, and this revealed one can take a lot of time. I'll keep it moving, but we'll definitely do the 2 octordals. Okay, it's a place. It has a 9-letter and an 8-letter word, a description to describe this place. Okay, and we got this heavily redacted document, and these dark blue areas we can and eventually will need to reveal to get us clues to figure out what is the actual place that we're looking for here. Okay, we can guess as many times as we want, though, for free. The place is an place, blank, blank, last established in blank, that was used to blank, blank. It blank through blank, a blank of blank, and blank at the blank and blank, blank. Because it blank, blank, it was also known as the blank, blank. It served as the blank, 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 I don't know. I'm just gonna guess Underground Railroad. Oh, that won't fit. Will Railroad fit? No, it was not. Okay, it's not the Underground, but that's all right. You can guess as many times as you want. It wouldn't have fit anyway. All right, let's see. The blank is a blank last established in blank that we used to. All right, let me reel this one here. Zero longitude. Zero longitude. Isn't that the Greenwich Meridian? Something like that. Yeah. All right, I'm pretty good at these. Greenwich Meridian, but the Greenwich Meridian is an imaginary line established in 1851 that is used to indicate zero longitude. That's the only clue I needed. Zero longitude is, where, it's a pretty arbitrary place of where you split the globe up in vertical lines. The horizontal lines are less arbitrary because the equator is an obvious one. But when you're talking about the longitudes, they're quite arbitrary, where zero would be. So it goes right through Greenwich, England, because that's where they kind of figured out. They stuck their thing on. Anyway, the point is, when they're making the maps, they needed that 0 point. So in 1851, they just made it past to Greenwich. Prime meridian is a prime meridian, blah blah blah. When it's just super bad, the international reference meridian is just only slightly. All right, let's see how we did. We needed 1 reveal. Other players needed 5.7 reveals. We did pretty good, frankly, or I did pretty good. You didn't help me. That's fine. But I really enjoy this game. It's challenging. I've played 54 puzzles and I've solved all. I got 100% solve rate, but it says 102. Don't get me into that. It's a bug. All right, let's play the trivia quiz. It's going to be the second to the hardest trivia quiz today. The hardest one's tomorrow. Before we even attempt a trivia quiz, I'm gonna repower my Diet Coke levels. 9 questions. You can only get 2 wrong and still complete the quiz. Engine. I should have gone with my gut there. Oof. All right. Which country has the world's longest coastline? 3 oceans. Wow, I'm not doing well. Canada touches 3 oceans? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Arctic Ocean. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I already got these. I already didn't cross today's. We're gonna try again. I just want to see what the other questions are. But yeah, that was a rough one. We're gonna call this a complete fail. But I just want to see what the other questions were. But you can do it again. But you know, if you don't get on the first try, it's a loss. That's fine. I just want to see what the other questions are. See if I would have done better on those. I don't think I would have got the Tupac Shakur one. For sure. Those two I should have gotten this one. This one I have no reason to have gotten. Oh, I guess by process of elimination. Anyway, let's see what the ones I haven't seen yet are. That was still a complete loss. Okay, these should be pretty easy. Well, that was pretty easy. I don't know if these are going to be pretty easy. The Tesla. See, I keep track of this stuff. Yeah, I had a feeling if I'd gotten through those first 3 hard ones, I would have had no problem. But that's just how it is with trivia, you know? As the noble gases. Lethargic. Sorry. Again, I don't care. I'm just trying to get through the questions. This is not a win, even if I get them through. Archer. Isn't it Sagittarius? Yeah, see, as I thought, all the rest of the questions were super easy. But that's, well, let's see. 6 months of his tenure. Was it Richard? Yeah. Yeah, I got all the other questions. But this score doesn't count. That's fine. I mean, it's not like they're going to pay me or anything. I'm not making money by finishing trivia quizzes. But no, that was I lost the first 3. I didn't get it across. That's a second try. That doesn't count. All right, moving on. We're going to do a couple of Octurtles, and then I'm going to play my mid-roll. And after that, it's going to be the guitar section of the night. So by all means, yeah, you know what I mean. Stick around if you like that kind of content. I do. I'm going to talk about the guitar a little bit. I'm going to talk about what a fancy cheap guitar is. We're going to play the guitar. I'm going to look through my... could this be Scone on the upper right? I'm going to look through my collection of karaoke songs that I played a long time ago or months ago. What's this one here? I don't know. That could be... Booby? Could be. I mean, it's a bird. Boozy? Yeah, cool. All right. And we got plenty of extras here. Okay, this one up here. Mouse on the lower left there. There we go. Let's just finish up the easy ones here. PIMCH on the lower left there. We got, let's see what here. Algae. Let's see. Adapt on the lower right there. We're going to do one more of these after this, the hard one. This is the easy one. Let's see. Diode. There, right. It's got to be one left here. And that's, is it Cilia? It's not Cilia. Could have been Cilia. No, it could have been Cilia. All right, let me finish. We got one guess left. I get it, though. Let's see. It's either, okay, so it's C-A. Is cavil a word? Yeah, cavil is a word. Let's not get on it. Okay, we're gonna do the hard one here. Which I only get about half of these, which is why I really enjoy doing this. This is my favorite game because I only get about half of these. It's hard. Because I don't get to use my 3 starting words. This one here is S-O Sooth. S-O South. No, it can't be South. It's not sought. All right, let me figure out what that one is a little later. I think it's Sooth. Soth. I might just go for it. Let me see what else we got here. Lower left, it's got to be cleft, right? Let's grab that. F was helpful. SOU blank D. Sound, right? That's what other, and that will use the N. That's actually a really good one. An N is super helpful. This one on the lower right looks like it's just going to be cliff. That's easy one to get. Now we have what here? Okay, this one on the left here could be omega. And if it is, it gives us the A. Good. All right, we got 4 to go and 5 guesses. So we're still doing pretty well here. Let's see. This is probably something like died, like not vying or something like VYING, lower left there. Let's see. Then we have a K and an L to place. And an N. So lichen, LIKEN. Right? I think that's got to be right. All right. And anyway, I still think we got soothe on the upper right. And I don't think it was going to be on that left that we have. All we have is a T and an M. It could be the left, could be motor, MOTOR. Okay, it wasn't. That's all right. We learned for sure on the upper right here is SOOTH. It doesn't even matter if it's a word or not. It's the only thing it can be. And this one is going to be motto. The only other thing in all calls could be. And we have enough guesses. So today's rescue is a win. Yay! Which is good because I got my ass kicked on the tightrope trivia today. Wow. Again, if I had a perfect score every single time, it would be rather boring. And I wouldn't feel good about those occasions when I actually did do well. So here's to me not having the best day. Now tomorrow the tightrope trivia is the hardest of the week, right? It gets harder every day until Sunday, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. So that could be even rougher than today. But maybe we'll learn a little something about Tupac Shakur. All right, next thing that's going to happen is there'll be rhyme mid-roll, and on the other side of that, let me switch to the musical category, just like every other show, really. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know, really. I might just play the guitar for a while. I might sing if I feel like it. I might not. It's all up to me. That's what's called having a live web show. I'm just looking over at my stream window here. All right, let me get the mid-roll, and then we're going to get my guitar ready to go. Okay, let me get my camera in position. There we go. There. Get my pick. Checking my setup here. It's fine. In the crowd. Anyway, let me mic over here, face here. There we go. You can hear me and see me. I'll probably turn on the reverb if I decide to start singing, if and when I decide to start singing something. But before we do that, I just want to introduce this guitar again. I've only done this, I think, for it's about 6 weeks now, or no, about a month. I think I bought this fancy cheap guitar. I call it off of Amazon, sight unseen, which is pretty important that, when it's pretty ridiculous to buy a guitar where each of the tops is unique. They're all different. But yes, I mean, what do we got? And it turned out to be one of the better ones, in my opinion. I looked at the listing for these Leo James Hurricane series, the highest end they have guitar, and now they have it in a bunch of colors. They're still selling this one now. It's back down to the same price I paid, $279. Was it a good deal? For me, yes. That's because I have guitar tech skills. I was able to adjust the truss rod, which badly needed to be tightened. Badly. It was basically loose. I've received guitars like that in the mail before, where the truss rod had either been intentionally loosened or over time, in the case, loosened itself up. I don't know. It should be intentionally loosened. You shouldn't be fully tightened up for transport, but most people don't know that. So it seems like it's not set up, but when you tighten the truss rod up, it's set up quite well. And that's the case here. Tighten the truss rod up, lower the strings, set the intonation. Everything's adjustable here on this bridge down here. You can adjust the height. You can adjust the intonation here. There's small adjustments you can make to the height of the pickup, so I did have to lower those as well. This is what makes a fancy cheap guitar. Well, I mean, besides the fact that the top is good, it has 24 stainless steel frets, came with these locking tuners that are kind of, at least they're supposed to function pretty well. One of them's a little busted. A lot of really nice design features. The wood is really nice quality. It's a bolt-on neck, which you'd expect, but it has these offset bolt holes, which are considered kind of advantageous. They shouldn't be even for performance reasons. And the other thing is you can see here these ferrules here. This means it has a string through body construction. That's also what you'd associate with a good quality guitar. Should you buy one if you have guitar tech skills or know somebody that does? Oh, hell yeah. Because, yeah, I mean, basically, if you want to get this on a brand name guitar and get the features like a bone nut, the 24 frets, the stainless steel frets, it's really very nicely done. Fret markers that you can see from the front and the side. It's actually really cool. Locking strap lock, built-in strap locks that come with it that are really good, decent quality, I think. And this really cool burl top that has a lot of dimensionality to it. It's pretty wild. You can kind of see this camera better. It looks three-dimensional, but I don't know how they do it too. It's kind of cool. Each one of them is different. And it comes in, there's a green one, there's a blue one, there's a different green one, and there's a red one, and there's a purple one. The purple one I think is out of stock. But they all have these features. And the other thing is, I don't know where they're made. It says made in PRC. On the back of the headstock, normally it would say where the guitar is made. There. You can kind of see there. It's got some text there, right? You can't read it, but what it says is Hurricane Series. Designed and manufactured by Leo James. A very long serial number and a bunch of symbols, but no made in a particular country. If it were made in China, I think it would have said made in China on it. I have plenty of guitars that say made in China because they're made in China. I think these were imported by China, a Chinese company, but I think they were made in Bangladesh or someplace like that, or India. Oh yeah, I was talking about some of the other nice. I mean, the control scheme. You got master volume and a master tone, very common on this kind of this with the tool humbuckers, and a 3-way switch. But they're just really good quality. And the way you can tell is when you change the tone. Is there any static? Even high-end guitars tend to have this one. They're perfect, so smooth. You don't hear any static when I change these values. On especially the tone one, you can, if it's a cheap guitar, you'll often hear real staticky sound. That's a bad sign. It means the guitar's probably not going to sound that good. Also, does the switch have any kind of noise in it? Because I have some guitars where the switch is kind of got corroded. This is a good quality switch. Everything about this is really off a much more expensive guitar than $279. Okay, that's all I got to say. It's really one of the cheapest guitars I've ever purchased. I mean, I can compare this with the PRS CE24 that I have on the wall there, which is, it costs 6 times as much as this guitar, and it's a lot better. But 6 times, I mean, it is a lot better. But it also has a lot of similarities, like the 24 frets, the bolt-on neck, and a very 3-dimensional pattern. But that's a PRS. This is not. Where's my beautiful Keyser capo here? I'm gonna do that. That song I like to do. "Modern Jesus" by Portugal the Man. Come on in, take a seat next to me. You know we got what you need. We may be liars preaching to choirs, but we can sell your dreams. We don't need sympathy. You don't need sympathy. They got a pill for everything. Just take that dark cloud, bring it out. Need my reverb. Bring it out to wash it down, but I don't pray for us. We don't need no modern Jesus to roll with us. The only rule we need is never giving up. The only faith we have is faith in us. You are the ones who start little fires, yet they burn out. But when they're on the rise, they can't help but shine. And when the wave approaches, take our ashes to the ocean. Who cares if hell awaits? We're having drinks at heaven's gate, but I don't pray for us. We don't need no modern Jesus to roll with us. The only rule we need is never giving up. The only faith we have is faith in us. We know that we're helpless, at least that's what we assume, but we don't need to prove nothing to you. Let's all stay cool. You don't want to feel blue, Well, we won't sell you nothing you can't use. Don't pray for us. We don't need no modern Jesus to go with us. The only road we need is never giving up. The only faith we have is faith in us. I like that song for some strange reason. What else should I do? There she goes again, racing down my brain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. There she goes again, racing through my brain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. There she goes again. She calls my name, pulls my train. No one else can heal my pain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. There she goes again, racing through my brain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. Welcome to the show, Wilma. Good to see you. Samantha, thanks for coming back. Good to see you guys. Yeah, it's basically just sitting around the garden. I love being able to play the guitar. I mean, I've been playing since kind of I was a kid, so a long time ago. I kind of put it down for a long time, and then when I started working my first real job as a computer programmer at Microsoft, we all had guitars in our office, and I felt like I think I bought one so I could be one of the crowd. I don't have that one anymore, but that kind of got me started on the electric guitar path. They're kind of easy. They're relatively easy compared to an acoustic because there's a little bit more. You get a little less calloused. A lot of people think, I should learn how to play an acoustic, but I don't know. The thing about a guitar is most people don't realize, well, I'll buy a guitar. Is it going to sound like this? First of all, you're probably not going to play it that well. Secondly, you probably don't have a good amplifier that has a DSP effects, because I've got chorus, compression, reverb, and amplifier simulation all going on to make it kind of sound like this. The amps are part of it. Well, again, yeah, if you learn on acoustic guitar, you're going to have... I have a little calluses, but these are electric guitar calluses. So you kind of see them. I can't really see them. They're kind of indented a little bit from playing already, but... you need less pressure on the. And you start learn to put less pressure. It's not, again, everyone learns in the same order, pretty much. I had a nylon string acoustic to learn the basic chord and chording. So anyway, this is this little. I'm gonna play this little finger picking song that I got out of the. I just wrote this a couple weeks ago. Really, it goes like this. Oh, that's classical gas is a great part. I'm gonna love that. I love that. I can't do that either. Excuse me 1 second, please. Where is it? Hello? Sorry about that. What do you think so? Maybe. Maybe. Should I be showing? Is it legal for me to show this on the? Zoom? Okay. Here's something of interest, though. Do you guys? Are you guys Are you guys in the news? Do you guys are you following the news? There was a big raid yesterday, or like a Thursday. It was Thursday now, with a lot of protests and a bunch of people arrested. In fact, one person died. It was a raid on a marijuana farm in Southern California, and if you look up who it is, yeah. Glass House Farms, you could look it up. It's from here. This is actual, not documented worker created product, and I suspect I won't be able to get any more of this, because they shut it down, and it is world renowned. But they still have it, of course, at the place where I deliver. You can still order it, and in fact, I think it's even on discount. I think they're trying to get rid of it. It's like $10 for. Let's see what we got here. I'm probably not allowed to show this on stream here, so I'm going to do it. Who cares? It smells really good. Yep. This is the world renowned marijuana product from the Jealousy Mints from Glass House Farms. And yeah, after because I was looking at that, I was like, oh, look at that huge raid. I mean, there's all these, like, they arrested like 100 people or something there, or ICE arrested. Well, what farm was that? And it was like it was a drug farm. They said. I'm like, yeah, probably marijuana. What farm was that? I had no idea. That's Glass House Farms. I'm like, okay, I know that. I know those guys. All right, let's move on to the karaoke section now. Again, I want to do something here. I don't want to lose this before I go away. I had some. I had some left over. It wasn't like new, but yeah, I got like 3 different kinds there, like 4, I think, actually. And it's great. You just pick it up on get it off the internet, and it comes like 3 hours later. You don't have to leave the house or anything, and it's pretty good price. It was like less than $100 for 3/4 of an ounce, I think, of different kinds. All right, so if I go to YouTube here, I want to go to my history. Can I search in my history for karaoke? Right?
Oh, yeah, search watch history. That's what I want to search. I just want to look for karaoke because I want to find songs that I haven't done in a while. I never did that Adele. There's a bunch of things here I've never done, but then there's a bunch I have. Let's see. So this is good. So I'm looking through this list, and it's showing a bunch of things that I definitely did not look up. But maybe a long time ago. Yeah, this isn't giving me any useful information. All right, we're just going to do some regular karaoke in that case. Excuse me. Yeah, damn ads. Well, hey, Twitch has to make money somehow. I'm not going to, I'll wait. I support Twitch needing to be a business that makes money. So that's why I have ads turned on, by the way. I don't get paid much. I get like 8 cents a month of ads, but I just think, it's probably is. Well, it is. It props up the price of Amazon Web Services. In other words, it's very complicated, but yeah, they can lose money for Amazon and still be profitable for Amazon when it takes into account that other players who want to use Amazon Web Services have to pay more now because Twitch pays more. It's really a complicated and kind of ingenious system. But yeah, Twitch can be a loss leader and still make money for Amazon. It's not magic. You just have to kind of look at how much money flows from Twitch to Amazon because they're paying effectively internally. They're the same company, but they have to pay internally for the broadcast services via Amazon Web Services, AWS. Because Twitch doesn't have its own broad way of distributing this content. They've always used Amazon, but they were always Amazon's biggest customer of AWS, which is why Amazon bought them. And now that which is a really smart thing to do when you're a service and you want to buy your biggest customer, that way you can control prices. Because once your biggest customer is paying a certain amount, everyone has to pay either that amount or more. You know what I'm saying? Because your biggest customer always pays the lowest amount. All right, let's do some karaoke. I'm having a good time. But it's not really a monopoly. It's just propping up one side of the company by having a loss leader on the other side of the company. It makes sense when you write it all down, and it's not even like weird. It is what it is. All right, let me bring up my little karaoke window here. I just enjoy doing it. I'm gonna skip over Man on the Moon. We'll start here, but I'm just gonna skip right over that there. We didn't do Kiss Me. I was playing a little There She Goes. We'll start with this song here. Gonna move over to here. There we go. So you can see that. What's my audio level? All right. This is that other Sixpence None the Richer song I really like. I believe it's up here, right? Yay, capitalism. All right, I'm missing the song. I really enjoy this. Sorry. That was vicious. Better. Kiss me out of the bearded body, nightly inside green grass. Swing the spinning step. We wear those shoes, I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Meet me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. I guess I'm not asking to kiss you. Kiss me down by the broken treehouse, swinging me upon its hanging tire. Ring your flower hat. We'll take the trail marked on your father's map. Oh, kiss me beneath milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. twilight. Lead me. Let go. Lift your open hand. Strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. Random people that I'm watching while I stream, random streamers. Oh my. All right, what's the next one here? Wonderwall. You know what? Sure. I actually really like the song. I think I'm pretty good at it too. And everyone knows it too. This was a song that was originally requested by a viewer. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, should've somehow realized what you got to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I like to say to you, but I don't know how. And maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. That day was gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads that lead you there were winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I'd like to say to you, but I don't know how. That maybe gonna be the one that saves me. After all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe gonna be the one that saves me. After all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe gonna be the one that saves me. Gonna be the one that saves me. Gonna be the one that saves me. you always have the appropriate dad joke for all these things. All right, next one I'm going to do is, in fact, the one that is dedicated to Milo Antenna. I do. It's I figured it out pretty quickly, I think. Why is that there? It's this one, right? Hold on a second. Pause 1 second here. Let's drop my. Okay, let me see if I got the chords right here. I don't know if I got it right. Let's figure out. Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed. And I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden, their surprise. And I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one more correspondent. I've been too hard to find. But it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you love me just a little? Just enough to show you care. And I tried to fake it. I'm saying just can't make it. But I think I'm thinking about you, Sister Golden hair surprise. And I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one more correspondent. I've been too hard to find. But it doesn't mean ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the air? Will you love me just a little? Just enough to show you care. When I tried to fake it, I'm not saying just can't make it. It's turning. I've only done that for a couple weeks there now, but it's turning to one of my favorites. Where's Amy? Yeah, I was watching most of the show. I just lurked for the whole stream. It's like pouring rain on a car. I was like, shit, man. I hope it's waterproof. I'm watching. I'm kidding. See on the lower it says Tim Schneider. I never. Hold on, just the lyrics. I was thinking about Mushroom. I have a streamer. I have my streamer window open over there. I also watch a lot of Taylor Starlight. I can see why you think you belong to me. Never try to make you think let you see one thing for yourself. And after off with someone else, I'm alone. See, I thought that I might keep you for my own. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think time was right for us to find all the things we thought were proper? Could you right in time and can't see? And we should turn together or alone. I can never see what's right or what is wrong. Don't take too long to see. Maybe what you wanna do. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Well now, maybe what you wanna do. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Now it's gonna do what you want, you've had your way. And all the things you thought before faded into gray. Can't you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both will see. Won't you look at me and tell me, baby, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Yeah, now, maybe what you wanna do. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Falling in it out of love, you. Falling in it out of love, you. Don't know what I'm gonna do. Ooh, I keep falling in it out of love, you. I don't know. That's a good song. We should probably do this one. I like my James Taylor. One second here. Hit the cable. It's cable 3, right? So it goes. I don't really know the first part perfectly, Mark. That's got to be close enough. Let's see here. All right, let's sing a little James Taylor here. Fire and Rain, one of my favorites. Of course, whatever it's here. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I'd always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You got to help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching, my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I'd always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. There's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground, like in my previous segment. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I'd always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things that are coming my way this time around me now. Thought I'd see you, thought I'd see you flying away now. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I want to do that. I'm not going to play along with it, but I want to do that song it was just recommending. I have to say I love you in a song, but karaoke version. I think I could sing this one. Let's see. These guys are pretty... It's a short song, too. What key is it in? I'm not sure I can... Chords. I think I might be able to sing it, but I don't know if I remember the chords. Okay, hold on a second. I just came up to. Okay, hold on a second. Just like that, G. Well, I know it's kind of late. Hope I didn't wake you. What I gotta say can't wait. Every time I try to tell you, the words words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kind of strange. Every time I'm near you, I just run out of things to say. I don't understand. 'Cause every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. I'll learn to play it sometime. Every time the time was right, all the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kinda late. I hope I didn't wake you, but there's something I just got to say. I know you understand. 'Cause every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. It's George song too. Is that the first time I tried that? I'll have to learn the chords. He's got some really good short songs. What is another one I like to do? Should we try doing Time in a Bottle? I wonder which was. Oh, actually, Care Funds are usually pretty good. Again, I don't know the guitar part, but that's like singing. So I play guitar later. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do, save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. If I could make days last forever, if words could make wishes come true, save every day like a treasure, and then again I would spend them with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. It's a hard guitar part though. I can learn it though. I didn't know what I'm talking about. If I had a box just for wishes and dreams that had never come true, the box would be empty except for the memory of how they were answered by you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. That's the end of that song. You're writing some great, really compact songs, man. All right, I'm gonna do an REM song. Yeah, we'll do Drive. Sometimes I fear the fear of uncertainty, stinging clear. And I but ask myself how much I let the fear take the wheel and steer. Driven me before seems to have a vague haunting mass appeal. Lately I've begun to find out that I should be the one behind the wheel. Every time my pull breaks, I'll be there. Open arms and open eyes, yeah. Every time my pull breaks, I'll be there. I'll be there. So if I decide to wave on my chance to be one of the hive, will I choose a walker over wine, hold my own and drive? Oh, 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 oh. Driven me before seems to be the way everyone else gets around. Lately I'm getting to find that when I drive myself, my light is found. Open arms and open eyes, yeah. Every time my pull brings, I'll be there. I'll be there. Would you choose water over wine? Hold the wheel and drive. Every time my pull breaks, I'll be there. Open arms and open eyes, yeah. Every time my pull breaks, I'll be there. And I'll be there. Speaking of tomorrow, whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. Will you? Oh man, I've been streaming for 2 hours and 15 minutes almost. Give me a second here. Oh, stop. Talking about your India. That's not what I want to do. Here we go. Part one, take these up. So much more comfy. I'm fine. It's a little hot in here, but I'm not about to die of heat stroke. Thank God. Because there is some Diet Coke left, so I can kind of put out that fire. Hey, when I play guitar for like an hour, it's kind of like a very mild workout. You know, I mean, I don't get heavy breathing, but it kind of, you know, I get a little. Especially, it's about almost 80 degrees in here. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy Diet Coke. Actually, this is kind of tan. This is what we call the tan phase of the Diet Coke. Can't really tell, but the ice is melted into it. It's still cool. I'm going to consume the rest of it, though. It's not going to waste. Put this down for a second. Now, unlike some streamers I can name, by the way, I just really feeling this today. I follow a bunch of, you know, the hot girl streamers, right? And a lot of them are in the habit of ending very abruptly their stream. And to me, it's like emotionally jarring to be watching a stream, interacting with them. They're doing their thing. They're dancing around. And like, this is my friend, Mistress Moore. She does this. And I think she does it for a good reason, but I'm not sure what it is. I could ask her, but I don't really care. But she literally says, she'll be talking, she says, gotta go. And she'll reach up to her phone, and that's it. That's it. She'll give me maybe 3 seconds warning that, well, a bunch of people type bye, thanks for the stream. It's weird. I always believe in having an intro and outro to your streams. That way people can see that I'm doing my outro and leave immediately before I click away on them. You know what I'm saying? I would rather leave a stream before it's ending than have it end abruptly on me. Oh, by the way, Mistress Moore, here's the ultimate thing. Not only did she end her stream abruptly, but she then rated a rerun stream. She rated another girl's 24-hour-a-day rerun stream, which is, I'm like, why are you going to rate anyone if you're going to rate a rerun stream? First of all, don't rate anyone. If you're a popular e-girl, you don't want your audience seeing a hotter e-girl. But more importantly, just don't rate anyone. Don't rate a rerun, somebody's rerun stream, because as soon as I didn't recognize the name of the person that we were rating to, so I'll check it out. And then it was that French chick, Kaellen, but she wasn't on, so it was Kaellen's 24-hour-a-day rerun stream. And even then, I mean, why would she rate Kaellen, the French chick, who's very pretty? We all like Kaellen. She's lovely. She didn't stream in a long time. She's a great streamer, but there's no connection there. Oh my goodness, I gotta go. I gotta watch Moosh. All right. Thanks again for the stream. We don't know my outro. Yeah, I know. They're farming drama. They don't want everything to be smooth. They want things to be exciting and interesting. So they do things kind of quickly, and they don't announce what their plans are. I mean, I get it. If you're an ego, you've been on for 4 hours. Like she was on for 4 hours. It's long. You're effectively going, oh, I'm just gonna stay on as long as I can stand it, and then I'm gonna hit that stop button. And that's what they're doing. They're not like planning. They don't have a plan. Like I have a plan like 2 hours. It's her birthday. It's her 24-hour birthday stream. Is it? It's over in 15 minutes. All right, I gotta go. All right, but anyway, she's not adding time to it though, right? So it's not like I can add time to it. But yeah, I will say hi over there. Anyway, I'm gonna run my outro. If you want more stream, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, whenever I normally start my stream. Tomorrow is a Sunday. It'll be a nice long 2-hour stream. They'll be flying around. Something else. I don't know what we'll be smashing into something. I don't know what. Later. See you later. And there'll be more music, but it'll be Ken's Piano Lounge. I'll bring my piano in there in case you want to know. The musical section will be a keyboard section. But I do have to go. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you guys all do too. I had a great stream. I loved it so much. I'm going to do it all again tomorrow.